following podcast may contain strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to Hallmark of Greatness Half Christmas Month Special Edition, the podcast that celebrates the one hairstyle in Hallmark and made-for-TV movies. I'm Joe, and with me as always, fresh from the North Pole due to the confusing rules of teleportation, it's Barney.
I had Ernest to help me.
Quack. And she is sad as she's not allowed to marry her mum in time for Christmas. It's Katie.
Hello.
That's the only thing I remember about that film, was him being sad that he couldn't marry his mum.
Can't you be Mrs. Claus? No, because that's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. If you would like to keep up to date with all the Hallmark of Greatness gossip, you can follow us on Twitter at Hallmark of Great, all one word, or we are on Instagram and Facebook at Hallmark of Greatness. Week 2 of Half Christmas.
Ooh.
And I think we've really hit our stride with this one. After last year's Melissa Joan Hart, Too Many Toy Shops, or A Toy Shop Too Far, The Bridge Over the River Toy Shop, whatever it was called, the one that had Slater in it from Saved by the Bell, we are bringing you 2018's A Very Nutty Christmas. Barney, your synopsis.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch enters a baking competition called the Great Bundt Cake Off. Her famous brownies are sampled by the judge, Miles Macaron. He has a serious nut issue and isn't told about the brownies having peanut butter, resulting in an EpiPen ending. Feeling guilty, Sabrina bakes an assortment of desserts in a quest for forgiveness, but all Miles wants is her Bakewell tarts.
I like how the fact she is just Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
She is.
Yes. Not Clarissa.
James didn't recognise her as Sabrina. I'm convinced that James grew up in the 60s and then was like cryogenically frozen for 50 years.
He's got an old man's soul in a old man's body. The actual synopsis, which is not as good as that one. After getting dumped by her boyfriend, a bakery owner receives a special gift that turns her Christmas season around. So, yeah. Let's breeze through this because there's not a lot to really pick apart in this. Melissa Joan Hart plays Kate, who runs a bakery with a lady that I thought was Kathy Najimy from Sister Act and King of the Hill, and
Yes.
the fat one from Hocus Pocus.
Is it her though?
No, it's not.
No, it looked very much like her.
I thought also that it was possibly Thingy from It's Always Sunny.
Oh, I thought it was that person as well.
No, it's not. So she's got that going for it. She looks like two other people.
Yeah. And Ray also works there from Schitt's Creek.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
He's the estate agent / mouse map maker.
Again, she has loads of orders in because she's the only bakery in this small town.
We need to make 50,000 cookies.
Yeah.
And she's all neurotic and she has to say what volume the radio's at. She has to micromanage all of her
staff. You
staff.
can tell how much almond flour is in just some flour by simply licking it off her face.
Yeah, poofed up into her face.
Hated it. A quarter cup of flour in that volume wouldn't make a blind piss of difference either, just saying.
She's got magical powers though, hasn't she?
Oh, that's Sabrina, not
right.
Melissa Joan Hart. Who wrote
Harvey's not in this at all.
Right. We had an argument about this the other day. The last episode of Sabrina, apparently her and Harvey get married.
Do they?
The only thing I remember is he comes to her because she's used too much magic on him, and he goes, "Can we talk about the fact you're a witch?" And that's the last thing I remember.
Well, there we go. It's nothing to do with this film, but if you know what happens at the end of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the TV series, I was told they get married, but I couldn't find any evidence of this. I think they're all on Amazon, to be honest. I ain't seen them.
I wouldn't mind rewatching them actually.
Nick Bakey's still in
They're
them,
probably
Nick
shit
Bakey's
though,
great.
aren't they?
Salem, yeah.
Salem's the best thing
Salem.
by a country
I
mile.
said if I was on that F King show, that would be my computer, just Salem being really sarcastic at me.
Well, you never know. So she's got to make 1,500,000 cookies for a military base, which for a 3-man operation seems a lot to me.
Yeah.
They're making like 3,000 a day though, aren't they somehow?
And running a shop as well.
And running, yeah,
which
Yeah.
hands out free stuff willy-nilly.
All the time, yeah.
Yeah. As children come in and cause havoc, and she gives them cakes to leave, which is racketeering, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she can't freeze them either or do anything with them because there was at one point they'd done
yeah.
too many and they didn't know what to do with them.
Someone cancelled an order and they were like 1,000. And she was like, we can't use them the next day because they'll be dry. I was like, the biscuits, though, they're supposed to be dry. Also, I hope you got money up front for that order because otherwise it's not a good way to run a business, especially for 1,000
it's
biscuits. I want at least half up front. Anyway, she's going
She
out
gets
with...
dumped.
She gets dumped by, is it Mark? Who is
I
In
have
a
no
Santa?
idea.
weird way. He's so odd. He was
Yeah.
like, oh, and then one thing led to another, and he kind of says it, but he doesn't say it, does he?
Yeah, she held Santa's sack. Yeah, it's not
But he's going out with the elf photographer thing. It's fine. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Tiffany.
And
Yes.
rather than thinking, what an absolute dickhead, she is actually upset. And
She's upset
cares.
about it because it's Christmas and she's going to be all on her own once again, and she hates
That's
Christmas.
against the Hallmark rules, isn't it? No one's allowed to be single on Christmas. That makes
No.
me sad.
But even if you have to make a man out of snow and give it a kiss, give it a deep kiss. So she goes with, is it her mum? The ginger lady that lives next door.
No, it's
That-
a neighbour.
All right, because their houses are like combined, so I thought it was like a sublet.
Semi-detached.
Oh, okay. Just that the doors face it was weird. Yeah, her and her neighbour go around a week-looking Christmas fair, and she wanders into a mystical tent run by who I thought I recognised him from something.
Yeah,
but
I
he's
did.
a mystical wizard boy who
From
is
Germany.
like from Germany. Who is he's like, I have all the Christmas things here you could ever need. This thing
Here with
and
the
a calendar.
nutcracker.
And she basically goes, no, I'm just looking. And he's like, he still keeps talking to her. And he gives her this nutcracker, and he's like, it's a nutcracker.
It's from the original Nutcracker
It's the
Village.
first nutcracker
Mhm.
ever. And I'm like, is it though? Why would you have it, magical elf man? And yes, the town is holding a nutcracker play as well because all these weird little towns do Christmas pageants. Is weird.
Yeah, put on full ballets
Yeah,
with
you
local
know,
people.
for an audience of about 40, but here we are. She takes this thing home, this nutcracker home, confesses to it that she used a fancy nutcracker as a child, which I thought was a strange thing to say.
Well, they are, because aren't they all like old with long white hair and
Yeah, they have
beards
like
and
fuzzy
stuff?
hair, and their mouth kind of opens
Hang,
weird.
hang,
doesn't it?
hang.
Hang,
Yeah,
hang.
for putting nuts in. I've never
Oh yeah.
seen a nutcracker in Britain because we have them.
We used to put them in a sock and
Put
whack
them in a
them
sock
against
and
the
bash them
wall.
against the fireplace. Yeah. That was our nutcracker as children. And you get that weird grippy one, don't you? All the nuts fly
yeah.
out, all the nuts fly out the side of.
Yeah.
So yeah, she confesses her love to this thing, puts it on the floor next to the saddest looking tree in the world.
Doesn't even have any decorations on it.
No,
It's
well,
just
her
like a-
neighbours just bought it for her because she
Oh,
hates
yeah.
Christmas. She goes to bed, she gets up the next morning, comes downstairs, steps over this full human shape on the floor because she's that thingy, trips over him and is like, oh, you must be the lodger. And I'm
Did you
like,
get the key from under the mat? Oh,
how are you not dead into death?
Fine. Creepy lodger comes in, lies on the floor. She's not got a
In
problem with it.
full
whatever.
military regalia.
not even on the sofa. Doesn't fall off asleep on the sofa. On a weird angle on the floor. Isn't it?
I think it's supposed to be that he fell over and then came to life.
Yeah,
Fell
exactly.
over.
Well, yeah. And he's like, no, I must protect you. I will fight a mouse king and all this shite. And I'm going, fuck now. This is just that Vanessa Hudgens The Night Before Christmas, but worse, isn't it? Because that's got V Hudge in it. This has only got Sabrina.
But the nut cracking machine in the bakery breaks, so the nutcracker can break nuts with his hands
Yeah.
In a jazzy way.
and
One over
becomes
here,
an
one over
internet
here.
sensation.
He does it in a fantastic style, yes.
Cracks them with his hands. Crack,
with his bare
crack,
hands.
crack.
You can do that. If you get 2 walnuts end to end, you can crush them with your bare hands.
I bet Bob Mortimer can crush about 5.
Probably. If not, he'll tell
Tear
you
them
that
in
he can. Yeah, so he becomes like, it's videoed by not Kathy Najimy, and he becomes an internet sensation. People come to watch him smash nuts, which, fucking hell. What's
It's a
happening
small
in this?
town.
I know, but like, they're still gonna poking a dead dog with a stick, isn't it? So yeah, they all pile
Still
in.
in
And
full uniform.
he's
at
still
this
in full
stage.
uniform. He's carrying this wooden sawn around. She's getting feelings for him. Like, she keeps peeking out from behind like the baking trays and stuff. No wonder no work's getting done. And then like they start falling in love, and it's weird. This is the bit that weirded me out because they have the thing, they do the thing. All these biscuits get made. They go to like a ball together. Right, that Christmas dance they go to, everyone else is in like evening gowns, and she's come in a fucking wedding dress.
Yeah.
She's come dressed as Cinderella.
But you don't look for the dress will find you.
Yes.
Yes, but also no.
Tried on an awful amount of dresses, and they were all horrible.
They were really
I know, but
horrible.
there's a fashion montage that bulks it up by 5 minutes. But the dress she wears is a big old, it's
Ball
got all
gown.
this netting and stuff. But everyone else is in evening gowns because it's an evening ball. It's not like
She doesn't get out much.
a big fat gypsy wedding.
She's being extra. She's fine.
Mm.
She goes and gets her hair done on the day. That annoyed me. You can't.
Yeah,
So
you
there's a
can't do
ball that
that.
evening. You're not going to be getting into a local hairdresser and get your hair done like that.
Take some of her biscuits in and bribes them. All the biscuits that are named after members of her family. Weird.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a peppermint Charles. Strange thing to say. It helps me feel close to them in some ways. Yeah, I often enjoy eating things named after my family.
You could just like go and visit them.
No, she's
Whatever.
too busy. Although she's not busy after Christmas, she says. It's so stupid. There's like a reverse auction thing. Does he change the things and
But
she
yeah,
wins
he at the
everything?
last minute goes in and like
Right.
puts her name down on everything. And do you not think you'd just be the most like she will be forever hated now? And another one, Kate. And Kate's won the whole trip to Hawaii. And Kate, I'd be throwing my food at her at this stage.
But having watched The Office, where Dwight wins
Does it?
everything,
Yeah.
he ends up owing a fortune because you have to pay what
for
you
it.
bid.
Yes,
That's
it's an
the
auction.
whole thing of a silent auction.
yeah.
So she's won everything, all them boxes of cheese, and she's got to pay for it all now.
Yeah, it's to raise money. It's not a
But
fun-
maybe Mr. Nutty will pay for it with his magical money.
I think you'll find in the greatest Hallmark tradition, this is the first ever Chip we've actually had. His name was Chip.
Oh, it was Chip.
Yeah, he was called Chip Nutcracker.
Oh,
No,
yeah, it was.
no, he wasn't. He was just called Chip. And he had a tattoo of "Made in Germany" on the back of his neck as well, which I didn't care for.
That's
They
very
win this-
patriotic.
It was just strange. They win all this shite, and they get in a horse-drawn carriage, which Americans seem to have a big bonk on for as romantic.
Love, yeah. They've never
You
been
have to do
Blackpool.
that.
Never been Blackpool, no. It's not romantic when it's shitting right in front of you. And then, yes, they manage to make all these cakes and that. They have a stomp off. She's like, "You're going to leave at Christmas."
Yeah,
He
she
tells
figures
her
out
what-
that he's the nutcracker, the actual nutcracker.
Yeah.
And for
And-
some reason, that's the thing that weirds her out after everything else that he's been doing. I just thought you were just a mental person. I didn't realize you
Yeah.
were the actual nutcracker.
You know,
No,
I was
it
just
was-
like, he climbs a tree. I can get on with this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you know when she's looking for him, she goes to all his favourite haunts, i.e. the big
tree.
tree.
Oh, because when she does that, she goes to the guy putting the lights back on the tree. She goes, "Have you seen Chip?" And he turns to her and goes, "I'm the tree whisperer," which is my favourite line from the film. But yeah, they have a falling out. He goes to a bar and drinks what appears to be Angel Delight with a load of cream on top of it. But he's on his
Angel
third
Delight
one.
is delicious.
Oh, it's not. And like bad Santa Mark comes in and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to get back with her now because they've split up." She's getting
Because
shook
she's not
down.
desirable.
Yeah, because someone else wants her. It's classic
Yeah.
jerk. She's getting shook down by a haulage company who have got the strangest moustaches.
And holds their piece of rope with like
He's
a
got
tail.
he's got a piece of rope over his shoulder. I get this is supposed to be
He
the
like
mouse.
swings it. Yeah, he's
thing,
supposed to be the
Because he looks from the bar and he sees it's Mouse and Son removing or something, but he sees it as Mouse King. He comes out, he threatens them with a stick, which he's not on. They agree to do it.
And then the whole town helped put the cookies on the van.
Yeah, everyone forms like a conga line to put the stuff on there for some
So
reason.
first of all, she gets all the presents, and now we have to help her with her fucking business. That's what I
Yeah,
hope it is.
what a shit talk. To
is
be
this
fair
one?
though, they all get their stuff back because
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she gives it back for
she gives it all
Christmas.
back to him.
And then this really irks me. She goes, "Christmas dinner at my house, 1:00. No, Sabrina. Look, we've already made plans.
Yeah.
Where are you going to get a turkey from? It's Christmas Day.
Also, who was that woman she went to the house of who had about 400 kids living in there?
I don't know, but I hope they like cheese.
She's like, "Oh, I'm going to go and buy a turkey now." I was like, "On Christmas Day? Where?" And then she gets a frozen turkey out and she's like, 1:00. Unless you're out at 2 a.m. delivering these presents and defrosting that under a tap, it ain't happening.
No.
But all this plastic food comes out on the table. It's very Arrested Development.
I genuinely, how is she going to cook that turkey in that time frame? I was very concerned.
It would get a bit peep show. You'd have to just grill the bits that weren't fully cooked. But Chip has gone. Chip's he's left.
Well, he's gone back to his wooden nutcracker
And
way.
he returns in the nutcracker form and says, see
next
you
year."
again next year. Right. And then this is the bit that weirded me out, because next door neighbour, when the all right for 1 o'clock dinner, next door neighbour has brought her nephew or cousin or son, who is the same actor as Chip.
Is it?
Is it?
I thought it was different actors.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was the same, just with a trimmer beard.
Yeah, I
Oh,
thought he just
maybe.
tied it up a bit. But in a military uniform, she runs out and hugs him immediately. Bit weird. And then he starts saying stuff to her that only Chip would say.
And he gives her a mad present from the mad German man.
Yeah, and he's like, after all the eating and stuff, he goes, "Oh, thanks for looking after my auntie. Here's a present. I got it when I was over in Germany." And it's another nutcracker, like
With a drum.
with a drum. So like they could eventually
She'll have
form a
whole
band,
army.
or if they all turn into men, take it in turns. I don't know.
Stop it.
But then he hands her a card, and it's from the magical elf man saying Christmas is a magic time of year or something.
Yeah, he didn't think that was weird. Oh, wait, and the man from Germany knew who you were, and he has given you a special message that I have not read.
I'd be like, this is weird. No, is this the Matrix? No. And then they're like, it ends. But what happens next Christmas? Does Chip come back and then have to fight the military man for Sabrina's hand? Do
No,
both the
because they'll
nutcrackers transform?
There'll be
Beat him
another
up, double team
There'll
him?
be
Like,
They'll be wandering drum rolls everywhere she goes.
How's that going to help a big bakery business? Bake to the beat of the drum.
yeah, row, you bastard. But I didn't understand. Like, was this the plan? Was this the plan all along? Was that Chip was there to help her find true love? Or
I don't know. I
to
got
find the
very
meaning of
confused.
Christmas? Or
Because in Hallmark style, Chip should have stayed and they should have been a couple.
yes.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand him turning back.
No, and when he said, "I'll see you next Christmas," I was like, "Oh, so she's just got to be on her own and then have an
11 months of
unrealistic
the year.
standard of a man that comes once a year."
He's always got wood. I didn't, and he can squeeze nuts. I don't know. Yeah, I just didn't understand what the ending was the plot, so that it would open her up to finding love again with normal people, or
Yeah, because she wouldn't have thought anything of military man had she not.
she wouldn't have had
Hated
Christmas.
Chip.
It's a long way to go to get to invite someone to Christmas dinner and their nephew to dinner, though, isn't it?
Hmm.
Anyway, that was the
Oh.
film. Like, we're only doing quick ones on these because there'll be another episode. But yeah, scores out of 10, or Santas and mistletoe. So I can't remember. Whatever scoring system we had, who knows? I can't remember. It's been a long time.
I
Yeah.
liked it. I will give it 2 mistletoes.
I'm
Whatever
going to
that
give it
means.
two golden walnuts out of 5. It was
Give it
fine.
3
It was
nutcrackers.
It was a fun film. It had all of the hallmarks of Hallmark, the HOH.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
It's Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and it was better than the one with Slater in it, because at least this felt Christmassy. Although, if you're going to watch a film of this ilk, I would recommend watching the Vanessa Hudgens, The Night Before Christmas, where the night travels through time, and
Oh, yeah, I like that one.
because that ties into the Princess one, because they're all from
Yeah.
the same country. Yeah, watch that one instead. It's much better. They also
And they have
say,
a giant acorn as well.
They also say Alexa and not Evo, or whatever their knockoff Alexa was called.
What was
Oh
she
yeah, it
called?
was Ava. Ava, yeah.
Yeah. Boo. Anyway, moving on.
So not many facts this week, but you know the scene where she's naming all of her
Biscuits.
family members after biscuits? No, the other way around.
This is my nephew Bourbon, my son Garibaldi, and his sister Lincoln. No one likes them because they're horrible.
So the first one, I don't know if you clocked it, was called Sabrina, which is obviously
Yeah,
about
straight out the gate with that one.
Sabrina. But the rest of them are actually Melissa's family members. So the ones I wrote down were Aviana is actually her niece, which is one of the biscuits, and Paula is her mum's real name. So
Yeah.
Paula
I
Hart,
think she is her sort of manager / agent as well, Paula.
a momager.
Oh, don't like that.
There was no biscuit named after Aunt Zelda and Aunt Hilda, though, was there?
There wasn't a Salem cookie, no.
So disrespectful.
Eh.
And the other fact was more of a goof, but I don't know if you remember the scene where she was taking all the biscuits to be sent to the post office. She took them all to the post office.
Yes.
None of them have any sort of address.
One of them just had Mark written on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I was like, it's like sent Paul's letter to the Corinthians.
You know where these go.
Yeah.
Someone goes to Mark.
Also, massive queue in that post office. And the woman behind the counter goes, I'm packing up now, let's go.
If you've been to a post office, that's what it's like.
That is
though,
what
to
it's
be
like,
fair.
yeah. Just
Yeah.
put that window down, right, fucking off, mate.
They're open for 40 minutes a day, and that's it.
They'll send it.
Who Made You, God, said, sweet, and gave it a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
There's nothing like sitting down and watching a cheesy Christmas movie on a cold afternoon, and that's exactly what I am doing. Melissa Joan Hart has always been a favourite of mine ever since her Clarissa days. Love her. This movie isn't going to win any awards, but it's easy watching and smile-inducing.
Yeah, it's a good Christmas film. It's like a every other year one, I think. It's daft. It's like, well done, Who Made You, God?
I don't know if that was a question or not. And then Lindsay, straight off the back, just gave it a 2 out of 5.
Oh,
A heartbreaker at the end of a super sweet holiday movie. Okay, so this is the first time my mother and I sat down for a Christmas to watch movies together and relax. We both love MJH and got excited to watch this. A cute, romantic, feel-good film while we have breakfast. I don't know about you. I don't watch,
no.
90-minute films while I have breakfast.
They are
I came
American,
in-
so it's waffle pancake.
Yeah, but they only ever have like one cherry off the top and then go to school.
Yeah.
So, I came in expecting tons of yummy desserts, a very yummy looking nutcracker, and a story so gooey and heartwarming, I'd be a marshmallow. I got all of that. It's not the best acting, camera work, and all that, but the nutcracker could sweep any herd-headed girl like MJH plays on me any day. Sorry, this is the way it's written, not me
No,
reading it.
It's fine.
Then they ruined it with the ending. I honestly nearly cried. My mum was so upset too. It makes absolutely no sense to end it the way they did. I can definitely say my heart was broken and ruined the whole mood of the movie. Don't watch this if you want a romantic happy ending. Go watch the Barbie Nutcracker instead. I'm being dead serious. My mother and I still yelling about the ending 15 minutes later. Talk about a major letdown.
Christ, all right. Well, that ruined your cornflakes, didn't it? Yeah.
Breakfast was ruined in Lindsay's
I know.
house.
Oh, herd-headed.
Yeah, I've never heard of herd-headed
I
I think it
before.
was a mistype of hard-headed thing. I
Oh,
think that's a bit. I mean, the ending is bonkers.
it
Because
is.
Unless every year she
didn't-
just gets to pick one nutcracker to come to life, and then the military guy has to fight him for her hand every year. That'd be good, actually. I'd watch
He'd be
that.
like, fuck, not this again. When he's like,
Blood Fist 7 for nutcracking. And that was that. It's only a short one because there's so many of these things to get through. Your favourite line from the film? Or shall I just give you mine again?
Yours.
I'm the tree whisperer. Goodbye.
bye. I don't think I voted for Knocker Island.